I'm still eating some pizza here, so I'm gonna push the mic away just a bit, and I turn the cam off so you don't have to see me chew. But let's get back to it. MP Live new patch mushrooms have no consume button. I'm pretty sure I already fixed that. Let's just give it a quick double check. Quite positive I fixed that. When we did vegetable, no, it's this guy. Mushroom is edible. Should be good to go. We'll double check just to make sure. All we gotta do is find a mushroom. Swamp is actually full of mushrooms, so somebody might have a bunch of mushrooms in some of these boxes too. Take a peek. There's a lot of boxes. No mushrooms. Alright. Let's go to the swamp. Mushroom. Get spores. An edible mushroom. But does not think it is. Well, I stand corrected. It is no doubt a mushroom though. Harvestable vegetable mushroom. These are actually swamp decorations, I believe. Swamp shrooms. Prefab type medium decorator. That's fine. We're gonna go look at these guys. They are not set to be edible. Excuse me. I think that's only for the swamp mushrooms. These guys don't have to be basic either. Can't be lucky, can't be rare. They're not necessarily basic. It's a great source of mushrooms in the swamp. The giant mushrooms, these guys have stock. Cannot be rare, cannot be lucky. Alright. And then the veggie mushroom is totally edible. So that should be good there. Okay. Well, good thing we checked. And good thing we went to the swamp. I guess it's not that big a deal, you see me chewing. This guy was generated using that data, so he's still broken, but should have no problem getting out to the swamp, picking up a new shroom. And now he is edible. Alright. So that's good. Drop an item, then another item. Either log out of the game and come back in, or travel to another solar hour and then travel back. The loop begs then are duplicated at least 2 times. I drop an item, then another item. I'm going to be somewhere we can test. Let's just go out to tier 2 base. I'll drop some pumpkin seeds and some cabbage seeds. And then I'll go back. I think I know what's going on. And I think I already fixed this. But let's go and see if we can spot the Solace. Probably not. Yeah. Huh? No. I guess we could do, who's got a structure? Who's got a structure? Not you. So this guy? No. Stuff's already despawned. No big deal. We'll let it despawn. I think this is already fixed though. And well, yeah. Yeah, it's an area related problem. If it still exists. Pumpkin. Look at that. Interesting. So, when we drop an item, from the player inventory, not a tombstone, down here, spawn dropped item. One thing that we do now is we look for this. Find the facility. Now, I think the problem going on here is we're doing this twice. So, facility equals a null. We're gonna need another bool to say bool is new spawn equals false. And in this case, let's say true. And then in this case, we'll say is new spawn equals false. Basically, this is checking to see if there, like it says here, look for a nearby item drop. If there is one, we're just going to add into that. But then what was happening was, even though we're adding into one that already exists, we're then re-adding it to this is fine, to the save data. So we have the original, and then we have a new one. And that was indeed creating duplicates. So now, if we're not gonna do add, do we have a update? Chunk manager dot update facility inventory. I don't think that will work for us. Structure, if not, yeah, that's not gonna find what we want. We're looking at item drops. Basically, we're gonna do this. This just adds it to the MISC, and it is a facility. Remove MISC facility. Or update facility inventory. It's gonna find it. It's the same type, same area. It's gonna clear it. It's gonna remove if empty. Well, that's not actually slots clear. It's not actually removing it if it's empty though. It's just leaving it there. I think this will work for us. Update facility inventory. So if is new spawn, in this case, we can add it anew. Otherwise, we're going to want to do update facility inventory using the facility that we are working with as a monster drop is. And in this case, we just need to do the same thing, but more like over here. Add misc. I believe that will work. Network server spawn go. That's also not necessary if it's already existing. However, we do need to update client-side data if it's not new. Okay, so if is new spawn, make sure to spawn it. Otherwise, we want to go to facility.update client data. And if we just leave it like that, it's going to update for everybody that cares. Right. That should fix that. We'll give it a try. Start the server. Oh, we got an error. Forget a semicolon somewhere. MISC data holder does not contain. Oh, MISC data holder. World encounter MISC data holder. What is this? MISC data holder. Add MISC. What is this one? Update facility goes to terrain and says update facility inventory. Okay, so it's just prior to that one step, huh? Okay. And it already knows to check that. Alright. drop 2 pumpkins and some cabbage seeds. Okay. And we don't have any errors on the server. Head back. Wait for it to despawn. Head back. Two and one, and that's all we got. Good. In 0.7.0.12, and they would mark that as minor because who doesn't like free stuff? The salami on this pizza is just no good. It's a pizza, so of course it's tasty. It's delicious, but let's work on this. Let's set up an easy way to test it first. I think this is more of just our sync of our hooks not firing very well. So I want to craft, I've got some metal in here, tier 0. I'm going to make an iron jacket, and I'm going to color it green. Let's go with dark green with dark purple accents. Hell yeah. Looking cool. Now, I guess another thing we wanted to test is, said that the armor wasn't going off immediately. Where is armor? 3. 2.5. Take it off, I'm down to 0.5. Put it on. Oops. Put it on, we're up to 3. Okay. Did a bunch of other stuff change there? No. Looks like some other stuff changed there. Anyway. Well, thank you for the like, Jeff. So I'm just going to log out. And that's going to despawn almost immediately. So I'm going to log back in. Got my last bite of pizza. And now we will see, not only does my chest look plain, but my armor is at 0.5. Now if I take it off, and I put it back on, everything works as normal. So it's not like the item data isn't there. We've got everything we need. It's just a timing issue. I think we want to probably be looking at this guy too. There's a load. There's a few things that happen. That might be an inventory. Reload equipment. This gets called after the character is loaded, I believe. It's called on player client. No. Player data holder. Let's turn that debug back on for starters. This is going to send all of the equipment. And inventory, we're really concerned about equipment and wardrobe here. But not quite sure actually what we want to look at here. Setup gets called as well, which loads the character itself. Let's put a debug on jacket. Let's put one here too for safety. Update jacket returned. And then we'll put one here that's going through properly. And that's really, we just need to look at the timing of this now. Load, what was it? Load inventory, that's server. Provide wardrobe parts, provide equipment parts. Equipment gets loaded after the wardrobe gets loaded. Weren't we calling a... No, yeah, we're not calling any of that. Player data holder then separately is calling reload equipment. But we really want to send this to the client, don't we? This is going to be running on the server. Player manager, finish loading cave, reload equipment, reload math and visuals. That's finished loading. Yeah, we should have our stuff at this point. This is when the world finishes loading for the first time, which is why I put that debug there. So this is just client side. We're not going to worry about that. let's just run through it and see where the debugs lead, for starters. Start the server up. Nothing quite like a belly full of pizza. My wife read something about 7-Eleven's Gold Series pizzas, really tasty. And for anybody that doesn't know, I live in Japan, where 7-Eleven has really good food, believe it or not. I mean, you know, it's not like quality restaurant food or anything, but it's very decent. You can find healthy stuff, you can find very good stuff at even your local convenience stores. And there's 4 different kinds of convenience stores in this area. And 7-Eleven has frozen pizzas. They have like their own brand line of many different kinds of, you know, fried rice, gyoza, which is pot stickers, all kinds of stuff. I didn't really need to teleport home there, but I kind of just want to save position here. Anyway, I bought both the pizzas. They had one that was the Gold Series and one that was normal. And the Gold Series pizza was very tasty, I must say. And I am a pizza hound, so... Update jacket returned. This is on jacket changed, on jacket changed, on jacket changed. Which I believe is we got a whole bunch of, no, not sync bars up here. Equipped main hand. Is that just up here? No. Player avatar. Who actually holds that stuff? Main hand weapon. I guess it just gets referenced off of the equipment slots. We just roll through those and look at them whenever we need to for the avatar. Let's go ahead and pause so we don't get more saves. Not that that would bother us, but... So locally, we've already received the data and tried to update it, but the avatar hasn't been set up yet. We're still loading the world. We get the Solace data. We begin setting up the player. Still, player isn't ready to go. Finally, we get through to updating it here via player client 488. I clicked on the second solution, my bad. Not what I like to do. Go away, I don't want you. It's my shadow copy, 488. Update avatar. Who started you? On recipe change. So yeah, this has happened because the avatar is finally readied. And we are getting update jacket for the first time. But by now, update avatar goes through all of that. Oh, I clicked on it again. No gracias. So in the end, we're at player avatar 160. This goes through a couple of coroutines of getting started up. We make it to... We've been set up. We want to update the jacket. Get string item based jacket color 1. How are you grabbing these numbers? Change jacket, jacket color is stored up here, and that's a sync var hook. On jacket color 1 changed. It's going to be down here somewhere. So that's where we're getting all these initial calls, which means we should be getting the color data through properly up in these initial calls. Let's go ahead and debug log that just to check. On jacket color changed, debug log jacket color is plus color dot to string. And then the final update jacket is somehow reading this again as new. So is there something that resets this? Let's look through all of these. Switch slot, equipment changed. Jacket, equipment changed, int slot, it's gonna grab the slot. If it needs to, it'll grab the wardrobe slot. Let me look at this for a second. Switch slot, client player, wardrobe slots is equal to return right. This is just changing the avatar, which is just the appearance. So if we're wearing something on wardrobe slot and an equipment update gets called, we don't actually want to change the visual appearance because the wardrobe appearance is supposed to be overriding that, but we're not doing that right now. We are grabbing the equipment slot and we're getting the color. Let's go ahead and, no, we don't need that debug. Let's take a peek at the different updates. One is from on jacket changed, on jacket changed, on jacket changed. On jacket changed. It's when the data gets sent the first time, which makes sense. Everything gets set up. Jacket returns. Again on jacket changed, on jacket changed, on jacket changed. Then it finally goes through, but it doesn't have the proper color in the final moment. But at no point should we be aware of wearing a jacket that has no color. So how is that possible? Let's see how those debugs roll this time. That's why I don't like that sync var stuff. It just goes whenever it feels like it, which is as soon as you change it. So it's understandable, but some of this stuff needs to be a little bit more precisely controlled. Server starting up. Start the client up. Kitty in the kitty bed. Not sure where the other kitties are. We've got some of our Christmas couch cushions out. Our girl kitty, Yume, she sleeps on top of the bright red Christmas cushions. Just about the cutest thing in the world. Jacket color is set. Jacket color is... Now who's calling that? Network identity. On jacket color 1 changed. Who and why did you call that? That's just your initial startup? Once again, the only people that call for the changing of that are actually all right here. We're looking at all references to this, right? On equipment changed, you would change it here, which is understandable on the server. Or it's the same thing, wardrobe changed, that we're not messing with. Equipment changed. Or update jacket, update jacket, update jacket, and that's, when you do that, that's not sending anything. Yeah, we're only looking at these 3, so this is the only method that can change the jacket color right here. So let's do a debug log. Changing jacket color plus color1.toString. And let's see how that goes on the server. Jacket color never went white on the server. Only ever made this call at 55, 59. We had one at 55, 57 somehow that... As soon as the player was added almost. Still, the final color should always, right? We're looking at where this is actually used is here. Update jacket. Let's go ahead and put the color in here too, just for kicks. You. Why not? There's just some funny synchronization going on somewhere here. Dore? Dore? お、新しい注文おめでとうございます。新しい人？そりゃ欲しがるね。それ語ってもいい？それ話してもいい？ 英語で喋っちゃうから大丈夫だよ。My wife does custom art. She just got a new order from a new customer. It's always cool to hear. Update jacket, RGBA is correct. Update jacket, update jacket, update jacket returned. You know, I mean, it's like, it looks like it wants to update properly. Let's look at the actual avatar himself. Malcare. Custom character controller, dynamic character avatar. I believe it's called something like DNA. Way down at the bottom here. Let's close all of these. Capsule clutter I want to leave open. 秘密. That's a lot of scripts. Sphere collider will leave open. Network proximity checker, audio source. There it is. UMA data. We're looking at slots. We're looking at hands, legs, body overlay, male feet, hands, legs, head, armor. Is using the shared shirt color. Shared colors. Shirt is white. But update jacket returned. Update jacket right here says that he's not returned. Changing jacket color. Update jacket being called properly at 977. Change jacket. Update jacket. Give it to the color. Change jacket. Get string. Avatar clear slot chest. Shirt equals new color. Shirt accent equals new color. How come that's not going through even though it's debugging as though it wants to? I think the final setup method might be something to look at here too. Setup starts off some coroutines along the lines of, aren't there some callbacks? No. Guess those are all in. What gets called is avatar.load. I guess we're not doing any of those callbacks here though yet. We're leaving it up to itself. Draw routine. What are you doing? Oh, that guy. That's the weapon drawing. So I guess we're leaving it up to the avatar, which is a whole ball of yarn. Actually just got updated this week. Definitely looking into, supposed to be running quite a bit better, honestly. But this is not Uma's fault. This is definitely our fault. Our use of Mirror, the networking solution, is just not 100%. It's all coming through. Update jacket returned. Jacket color is here. Jacket colors. It's the last time that ever gets called. And yet here we are. Still looking at a white shirt. Don't collapse. I don't even load the stuff on this end, but maybe we can peek at it nonetheless. Uma data shirt slot. Yeah, I don't even do that over here. But like say, just even a once more call, like right here, should fix it. Finished loading 125. Player manager 221. No, I clicked it again. How many times am I gonna do that today? Player client 221. It wasn't player client. It was player manager. Player manager 221. Finished loading. How's about we ask you to reload right here? And only if you are multiplayer. How about that? If not is server. I mean, this is janky, but hey. If not is server, client. You're familiar with the client? This is the player manager. Finish load. Finish load also has finish load cave. But they both lead back to finish load. That's right. Okay. Client player avatar dot. What do we want to do? Force reload. No. Not that intense. Might be that inventory call. Equipment changed. We've got something in inventory that calls that. Like, I think it's reload equipment. Wardrobe changed. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that once. Reloading equipment. Player manager, player avatar, player inventory. Dot reload equipment. Hi kitty, what are you doing? Q and Ikudu. Sorry if I say things in Japanese randomly. Oh, hi kitty, you wanna sit on my lap? Go for it. You gonna rub on the mic? You do you. You wanna sit on my lap? Alright. Yeah, you're a good kitty. I was gonna name this cat Cole, but I actually have a nephew-in-law. Second nephew, I don't know, it's like a cousin-in-law's son, whose name is Cole. So I refrained, went with Pearl. Even though he's a boy, but in Japanese it's Paru. Sounds kind of like Paul. Paru-kun. I think this will work for the avatar. And then why don't we just do a client.playerstats.recalc, because that was our other problem. By that time, we should have all of our data synced up. Looked like it was already synced up well before that, but it was not loading in properly. So I'm just going to do one final refresh of the avatar and the math. Alright, we're now green as expected, and we've got 3 armor. So I mean, you know, that's going to cost us an extra 0.2 seconds to load, or 0.1 or 0.05, but that'll do. It just seems silly that those colors are going through, but then something's still keeping it at white. I guess it's probably just the avatar isn't quite finished loading when all of that stuff is getting called. Get rid of our debugs. You're good. Player manager, we only changed that. Player inventory, reloading equipment. I don't really need to be reporting that. Player client doesn't have anything on him. So we can, only armor stats, gear and chance should be the same. Re-equipping, last tool equipped with harvest common actions occurring. That's another thing. Okay, so let's do that. For example, under skills, special skills, basic harvest, swing the sickle, switch main hand, client.playerAvatar, switch main hand. If is local player, well, that's just silly, because the skill gets called on the server. So when we get here, if is local player, that's never going to be called by the local player, is it? I do not think so. There is some of that. Yeah, okay. There is some times where it does get called. That's basically just not what we want right here. We want to go ahead and make like a server. Void switch main hand server method. And for example, this guy is now just going to call that switch main hand server. Now that we're on the server, hoping we're going to have to be passing that, huh? Here as well. Oops. Now that stuff will all still work the same, but this, which is always called on the server, because this is an action. You have to request to make actions. I want to go straight to switch main hand server. And I'm going to convert that to a byte. No? Is it not public? Needs to be public. Doja. There we go. Likewise with the rest of these. I think I can just do one of these and go boop. Right? Boop, boop, boop. And now I want to do the same thing on... Where is our strong attack? Strong harvest. There we go. Boy, this is silly, but he's got the exact same thing here. These should all just be, consolidated somewhere somehow. But I wrote this stuff a long time ago. And I don't really want to put forth the several hours to improve this system, because we will be improving this system in the future. This is the skill system, so its time is coming, just not right now. Likewise, let's go to the basic attack. He's doing something similar. Let's see. Basic check for ranged weapon. Switch main hand. There we are. Once again, we want to change all iterations of you, which is just 3. Melee, ranged, and magic. Do I have to look at any more of these, I wonder? Till soil. No, that doesn't actually bring out a till. Attack. Let's see. I think prior to that, we can look at action, skill template. No. Skill template usable. No. I think attack is correct. Get target AoE, get target sphere cast. These are all the possible ways to yada yada. But what about the actual engage? Check costs, gather targets, update cooldown, apply effects. Do we not actually switch weapons. I mean, make sure that we've got it out, that we've got it equipped. But that's not necessarily enough. For example, if we chop a tree and then we try to shoot a bow, let's look. Well, we did it for basic attack. But what about, like I'm talking about projectile. Instantiates the projectile, yada yada yada. But there's nothing here. Who's actually calling engage player actions? Okay, so this is a part of skill template usable. Okay, I thought that was edible stuff. So yep, here we are. Once again, these guys we want to change to be server side. Player animation right hand cast. No, those are fine. That's the punch animation. Alright, I think that that's good. This is a really high level, yeah, skill template usable. And then all the rest of these build on top of that, or beneath that rather. So I think that that will fix all of that. Would be nice if we could get a little inverse kinematic action going in right here. Fix those crafting animations a bit. Something I have never done. But you can learn anything these days. Did I mark that guy? Oh yeah, so we had this too. There's a last tool or weapon equipped shows up. So, yeah, see, I've got a sword. Why didn't you bring the sword out when I did that? And that's probably going to be because he thinks the sword is out. Just because we're on the client. See if I... See there, he tried to put it away. And I'm going to attack, and nope, he's still not going to bring it out. In fact, he has no idea what he's doing, does he? Sheath weapon called on client. Server function. Well, excuse me. Let's take a look at that. Player animation 210. That's a problem in and of itself, and I do remember seeing that. So here we go, knocking them down. Oh, you got confused and you're gonna leave me, kitty? I was just sitting there. He's gonna go sit with his brother. Don't smother him. Probably not nice to sneeze on him either. Player animation 210. Player, I think you guys are all good. Put you away. Basic harvest. Let's go back to player animation 210, was it? Server, sheath weapon. So how did we call that? Well, there you go. sheath weapon, player animation sheath weapon. It's already being called. So since this starts immediately, basically what we want to do is, I mean, I do like it like that. Switch main hand, this should be client side, that's all good and well. Sheath weapon. Player animator dot set trigger sheath is really all we want to call right here. Client player animation animator is not available to us. Player animator. Player animator. You're not going to let me do that. Client.player animation. Do I want to make that public and just let myself do it? Not really, but again, we've made this. All right. Let's go ahead and change this guy to sheath. Oh, sheath weapon server. 2 references and 2 files. I'm going to make one. Am I going to have to do this for all of these? I don't think so. We'll see. Public void sheath weapon where we are going to do this. So now this is like client side only. And since this guy is a client operation, we are going to not call server, which means client player animation sheath weapon, that there's actually now nobody calling this. Find all references. Nope. Nobody calling that. Find all references. Public void. It's only that guy. Well, that's not the nicest of things, because that is something that the player can, wants to pass on to other. Here we go. RPC sheath. Now this gets called properly. Command, draw weapon, draw weapon, draw weapon. Client player avatar, draw weapon. Yeah, this is when you actually do the actions. So, okay. What did we change? You guys are fine. Player animation, this guy here. So, we just don't need you guys at all. I'm gonna go ahead and say the same thing for you. You're just a public void, and we just want you to be like this. That's it. That's all there is to it. You gonna give me any errors? You're paused. You wouldn't know how to give me any errors. Recompile, please. I think that is gonna fix it. It's the actual start of all of that is elsewhere. We were just passing the command to the local animator. Looks good. Let's give it a try. Start the server up. Start the client up. Regardless of sheath and unsheath, though, but yeah, no. So he thought that I think it's confused that we already have our weapon out when we load. So I think like right now he thinks we have the sword out. So when we attack, he's not bringing it out because it's already out. So I'm going to sheath it, and then I'm going to attack. Nope. And still getting that weapon change stuff going on here, huh? Called on client. Finished loading 142, weapon change. Let's see, what if I do? If I do this, then it works. If I put that away, then it comes out. Alright. So this is not triggering properly, I think, is the problem. Player avatar 472. We did fix the sheath stuff. Player avatar 472 would be weapon change. This is server only, but we're calling it on the client via reload equipment. Weapon change, RPC weapon change. This is one of those things where we could make it client specific like we were just doing a second ago, but honestly, who calls this? It's always called from the inventory. Reload equipment is client, or rather, you could say client side. This here, likewise, command swap weapons too. No, that's different. That is definitely server there. So I think what we really want is a server version. Let's do it like... Wasn't there a Crystal Method song called Do It Like This? That was a good song. Let's do it like this. You, sir, are not server. You, sir, are our server version. You, sir, are going to... Oops, you stopped auto-formatting format. Thank you. I'm going to close you for now. You are the client RPC. You are now no longer the RPC. And you... server side, we're going to do that. Weapon change. This is going to go ahead and be... that's not going to upset you at all? Int, byte, you don't care. Weapon change. When I changed it to an int, call this ambiguous weapon change. Public void weapon change. Public void. Weapon change. Let's say client, which is what we want RPC to be calling. Weapon change client. And unfortunately, it's pointless to put the client, what are these called? Attributes on there, because server client is also a client. Now all we need to do is double check who's calling who. Weapon change server. So some of these want to be called by the server. Not you. Reload equipment, not you. That's local. Right. Equipment changed. Yeah, that's local. This, however, command, swap weapons 2. So this guy wants to call the server version. This guy also wants to call server, and probably his buddy just beneath him. Let's try that one more time. And who was that a song by? Is it Daft Punk? I made the terrible mistake of singing that karaoke once. I was like, oh yeah, that's a song everybody knows. It's kind of upbeat, it's kind of fun, but the only lyrics are literally one more time, about 7,000 times in a row. I quickly regretted my decision. Techno at karaoke just shouldn't be there. If you've never seen the Daft Punk music video for Around the World, I'd highly recommend checking that out. I don't think I can, like I say, I don't really know the rules for streaming and stuff yet. I probably can't. Watch that with everybody here. It's probably owned by Sony or something like that, but that's a great music video. Doing all right there? Oh, stack overflow exception. Oh, so we got a loop somewhere. One of those commands is calling itself. Player avatar 472. Oh, thank you for the follow, Kira. How's it going? 472. Weapon change. Oh, this guy's calling himself. Yeah, that's no good. He can go straight to the client. Yeah. Which is basically... Yeah, this is silly. We can just make this guy our public void. Weapon change, and change that to client. So we've got the server, and then we've just got the normal guy. That's all we need, right? Don't think that will throw any errors. What are we up to? 43 out of 50 Twitch followers. Getting up there. The 19 days to go is entirely made up. It's just December 31st. I put it in there for no reason. But that is the road to affiliate, which unlocks all kinds of good stuff. Tips and bits and emotes. Yeah, I mean, a lot of my code is pretty old. Let me see. That's probably one of the worst. Yeah, look at that. 2,375 lines. I wouldn't recommend that. But, and then you can't really see it over here on the right. You know, I've got way too many scripts, but that's what it takes to get this kind of a 3D open world stuff going. Alright, we're spawning with the sword out properly now. I'm going to put it away, and then I'm going to swing, and it's going to come back out, and I'm going to put it away, and I'm going to take it out. And let's see, I can change to the bow, and it won't let me use this, but if I change back to here, it will. And if I harvest a tree, it'll bring the axe out now properly. And this should do... That doesn't do an animation, huh? Maybe we should add a pickup animation. Or I could do the little right-hand cast thing where he goes, Hoo! I can put that away like that, right? Okay. Let's check stone and ore right over here. Sledgehammer came out, swung all funky because I don't have inverse kinematics. Likewise. But they're all coming out properly now. We'll keep at it. It's strange as it sounds. The computer only does what you tell it to. So if there's something wrong, it might sound mean, but it's your fault, and that's a good thing, because that means you can fix it. Just gotta figure it out. Like we've been doing today, I can now mark this as resolved. Fixed. All of these in 0.7.0.17. What else do we want to look at today? Kind of want to look at grass. Mine resources spawn at high rarities. Resources respawn regardless of respawn. Yeah, the respawn stuff has been bothering people. What kind of a game are you working on? Or you just still messing around with coding, Kira? Do you have like a prototype of something you're trying to build for experience? Crafting recipe skills do not require level up. For crafting recipes learned through skills such as the weapon and the smithing skill, learning one of the skill will allow for those items to be crafted at any rarity. Oh. Huh. Well, I'll look at that here in a second. Planters destroyed upon pickup. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some planter problems we should look at. Resources spawning inside buildings. This is the same as the respawn stuff. Certain minor resources. Respawn is incoming. Oh, okay. This is resolved. Resolved in recent patches. I have my settings for resource respawning set to max, yet still see new resources spawning in areas where I have harvested, such as in and around buildings and towns. New resources do not spawn. Resources only ever respawn. If new resources are spawning new resources, players would like that additional challenge. There's a few reports of the same nature. This is just bringing up the map component of it. Kind of difficult. Do we want to look at resource respawning? This should be really easy. Let's look at this real quick. For crafting recipes, learn through skills such as weapons and the smithing skill. Learning one level of the skill will allow for that to be crafted at any rarity. In other words, we can switch to single player. Oh, we gotta write down what we fixed. Hold on. Fixed armor colors and stats not syncing immediately upon login. Fixed armor colors and stats not syncing immediately after joining a multiplayer server. Fixed weapons and tools not automatically being brought out with use in multiplayer. Do we fix anything else that I'm forgetting? Dropping multiple items. Is there one more in there I forgot about? Sheathing. Fixed sheathing to unsheathing in multiplayer. So we're going to look at single player. We're going to look at learning a new sword. Should only let us craft common versions, I believe the first level is. I probably have some levels. Crafting, smithing, got 1 point. So I'm gonna give myself some more points. Oh well. There's another way to do that, which would be give myself a bunch of metal and craft some stuff. Let's go to smithing, weapons, and I'm gonna practice crafting, let's say 20 short swords. So now I've got 7 points. I'm gonna add to my armor. I think I need 8 to get. Not have enough points. Crafting, practice. Let's give me 1 more point. Do I really need to get that to 8? You sure I can't learn that? Nope, have not unlocked that tier. How about now? Yep, needed 8. So I need to craft a few more of these. Like so. Now I'm going to unlock common. Supposedly. So now I've got the longsword recipe. But, sure enough, I can craft any of them, even though I've only unlocked common. Alright, so let's save and quit, and that happens. We're done with you and you and you. That's gonna be under the UI recipe details. down near the bottom here, we've got change rarity. Is it called rank a million years ago? Change rank. Yes, it was. Change rank. That's silly. Change rarity. So we're not doing any checks here, are we? Refresh. We should probably just do it on refresh. Current item. Item recipe, item schematic. Material group. Material template. Learn crafting skills. Here we go. No, this is gonna add speed and armor and that kind of stuff. Check for crafting stations and tiers. Crafting station present, crafting station missing. If recipe is simple, do all of that. Icon, title, description, level, tier, rarity. Need to do that somewhere right around here. Either down here or right here. If recipe, where do we get the recipe from? Recipe equals get recipe. Probably just need to add to it right here. Make sure we know how to craft this rarity if a learned recipe. So probably gonna need to, let's see, player script controller client dot player crafting dot learned recipes. No? Recipe, known recipes. Now this is it's a dictionary of item and int. I don't like that. But that's how I used to write stuff. Known recipes get added by default. If can be crafted and known by default, it adds it straight up to 5, which is silly because they only go up to 4. We do some checks here. If what's going on here? Loading. That's all transfer stuff. No, we just want to do a check. But I don't. So there's somewhere in player crafting where we dump in all the initial stuff that you just should always know. A lot of which has not yet been converted to the template system. Or player crafting. Up at the top, here we go. Yeah, so it's just spamming all of these in there as level 5. Does it really need level 5? Shouldn't it only go up to 4? Oh, I guess we'd count common as 0. Common. I should move my camera a little. I've never Hands never seen invisible. Common, uncommon, rare, elite, legendary. So yeah, there are 5. Okay. But this stuff's all marked clearly as 5 for those uses and added into the known recipes. Dictionary recipes for each. This is get known recipes. What about this guy? Known recipes himself. Are we not supposed to reference that? I just guess I need to use get known recipes, which again is pretty silly. Player crafting get known recipes, which is a dictionary. That's going to create a bunch of garbage. We're in the UI though, it's not a huge deal. Dictionary, item template, database, items, item database dot items, comma, int known recipes equals get known recipes. And we're going to run a check against those. Again, I have to do a for each. It's just not preferable. I don't want to go through and fix all of this up right now though. It would take a couple hours. Let's say if, I guess, yeah, we don't have to loop through this. If known recipes dot contains key recipe dot item, and if it doesn't, we'll just assume it's fine because there's already a lot of other checks going on. But if known recipes contains this, and curious again, player crafting, when we pull in the templates, item key, item value, known recipes. No, that's good. What about, it's going to add them all in at 5. We're not actually looking at, when does that happen? Items, item template manager, load built-in templates if can be crafted and known by default. So anything that's known by default would just go straight up to 5. Okay. Just wanted to double check that. All of this stuff that's up here is just hasn't been converted to what now is all in the template scriptable object system. And those just get marked for whether you know them right off the bat or not. Which is a much easier way to create stuff. If known recipe contains key recipe.item, and known recipes recipe.item, the integer for this is less than rarity, current rarity. We want to change the current rarity to be the integer here. And I'm just going to check that out real quick. we only know how to make common, we're trying to make legendary, it should force it back down to common. So we learned how to craft, right? Unlocks common, crafting, smithing, weapons, longsword. It's still letting me go up to uncommon. So, if, let's see, yeah, because that goes 0, 1, 2, 3. Known recipes. Recipe to item equals less than the current rarity. Current rarity equals known recipes. Oh yeah, 1. Common, uncommon, rare, elite, and legendary. We're not using a 0 in there for whatever reason. So if this guy -1 is less than current rarity, then current rarity equals known recipes -1, like so. And again, we're just gonna quit out, double check that. It's 3 o'clock. I'm gonna take a little stretch break, go to the bathroom. Still got a little bit of my drink. But I would like to square this away if this is the final step. Crafting, smithing, weapons, longsword can only do common. Physical damage is changing though, so we need to go ahead and do that a little earlier on. However, short sword still works as normal, right? Good. There's some math that's going down before we get here though. So we need to do that a little quicker. Current item, title, title description, recipe, simple, item. Probably picking the item up immediately right here. Yeah, so we're probably actually going to want to do that down here after all. When we change rarity, if current item equals null, is simple, can't change rarity. We'll do that, and then, oh, you deleted it because you're silly. Give it to me. If you do shift delete, it also mimics. Cut. So let's put that there. That's not going to work, but we can do current item. Current item. Current item. Current item. That should do it. Need to go to the bathroom. Not getting those dropped frame warnings as much anymore. Live stats, stream quality is good. I had one guy ask me to lower the stream quality. or like offer options. Just don't know how you do that. I'm afraid, my friend. Seems to be running good today though, for whatever reason. And I will look into that. Crafting, smithing, weapons, longsword. Can no longer do that, but short swords work as normal. Let's go ahead and just practice craft one anyway. Not enough resources. This is true. I don't have any legendary iron. So what are you gonna do? But it looks good. Let's close it down. Fixed in, hi kitty, 0.7.0.17. What's good kitty doing? And we can close that and make sure to add it to our list of bug fixes. Fix learned recipes being craftable at any rarity. Regardless of levels, regardless of rarities learned. Alright. I'm gonna just take a quick break now. I'll be back in just 5-10 minutes. I think I'm actually going to call it here for today. It's Friday here, because I live in the future, land of the rising sun, and I got some stuff to do, and it actually takes a good... Oh, Doth Games, thank you for the follow. Takes a good half an hour to export all of the patches for, what do we got? Windows Server, Windows Client, Linux Server, Linux Client. Then I got to upload those to Steam. Update the, what are they called? Depots. Publish a patch, this and that. Got some stuff to do after that. So, guess you can see my sort of final steps here would be to that's probably gonna, it's always annoying how that will trigger a slight change in difference. Did you have a question or something? Or I will be streaming Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m. to generally 5 p.m. Japanese time. So varies pretty heavily depending on where you are in the world. Gracias. Glad it's not super boring. It makes it way more interesting for me to stream it and talk about it out loud like this than just sit here quiet by myself and sort of like a cave and work away at it. So it helps me a lot as well. If you're a developer and you're not yet using version control, gotta use version control. Must, absolute. I actually use quite a few layers of protection. What's going on here? I didn't give that a message. Did that funk it up? Uncommitted changes. Yeah, I probably didn't want to do that because I forgot to write anything. I just copy all my changes into here for my commit. But I'm going to commit these locally to the Git repository on the hard disk. Now I'm going to push those changes up onto Bitbucket. And I do also use large file storage, so it's going to move all the changes up there. Yeah, it would be neat to see. I should actually look at some of the other streams, because I know there are some Unity streams. You know, it's hard to get, like when you're learning, and I mean, I've been doing this for like 7 years now, but it's just by myself using YouTube, you know, figuring things out as I go. And I've still never really seen... You know, it'd just be really neat to see somebody, like a complete game that you know, like, you know, even if it's not a big name game, something like RimWorld or whatever, you know, just some other, Empyrean. I'd really love to see their architecture, you know. How do they organize their scripts? How do they, you know, there's just so many different steps that go into creating and managing a solution, and all the prefabs that make use of all of that. That it's really hard to find data on, you know, code architecture for games. So, yeah, it'd be really interesting to see how some more, you know, sort of the, like, say, veteran users do for bigger projects, not just little YouTube tutorials that we have plenty access to, but we need to see more how a big studio does that. I suppose that's somewhat of a what do you call it? Not a company secret, but my English is deteriorating. Anyway, I pushed locally. I also pushed online. So Bitbucket now has my files. I've also got a thing that triggers at 12:30 p.m. every day that copies the entire folder, and it actually is set up to only copy changes to a separate folder that Google Drive is always watching. So I've got a third copy backed up on Google Cloud at all times. So, you really want to take steps to make sure that you never, ever have to suffer data loss, because that is just the worst thing in the world when you lose like 2 weeks of data and you just got to go back and trudge through it all again. And it's always faster the second time around, but man, that's depressing. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to, we had someone in here just before you showed up saying, just new to coding. And when you're at that stage, you kind of build habits, and we all build different habits. Most of us don't have our bachelor's degree in computer science, unfortunately. I also use a nifty script here called Super Unity Build. And I don't have it 100% set up the way I would prefer, but what this is going to do for me is, and I added a few things myself. It's going to generate a Linux and a Windows server version for me with the push of one button, because switching between Linux and Windows takes about 5-6 minutes in and of itself, and then you got to push another button, and then you got to switch back, and then you got to push another button. And it used to be this process I had to, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps, each which I had to wait 5 to 10 minutes in between. And now I've gotten that down to 2 steps. I just do it once for server mode and once for client mode. It takes about 20 minutes in between the 2 steps. So now that that's running, I'm definitely going to start dropping frames, because it chews up the hard disk and the CPU like nothing else. No, I use Mirror, which is for free on the Unity store, and I'm actually what is it? I think it's a GitHub supporter. So I pay them like $10 a month or something. And they have a really cool Discord that also has priority support. And they're really responsive, really cool guys that are actively developing it. So you can see, the changelog was last updated 4:44 a.m. So like 11 hours ago. They're working on it every day. I'm actually running on a version that's still probably 6 months old or something, but it doesn't have any bugs even in the version that I'm using. They're just improving stuff constantly. So it's a really cool package, and it's also built off of Unity's old UNet networking solution. So they use all the same terminology, like syncvar and command and RPC. So any tutorials you can find online for UNet, almost 99% work the exact same for Mirror. And I just have had a really good experience with the people involved in it. So, yeah, Unity's supposed to be working on a new version, and it was supposed to start being released in 2020, and it probably is in Unity 2021 or whatever they call it now, but that stuff's just so volatile, and I'm still on long-term service. We just upgraded to 2019.4 here a couple months ago. No way I would touch the 2021 stuff, but it's supposed to be in the works. And initially, didn't they say that they were actually doing something with, wasn't it like in partnership with Google or something? But just really haven't. Here's a blog from September. Adjusted mirrors ranking. What is that? Oh, look at this. I've never seen this. Unity blog actually ranking all of their most popular, loved for its community and ease of use, that's for sure. Stability, support, ease of use. Performance is maybe not as good as some of the others. That's funny, they don't even, ML API. Is this their, they don't even talk about their own? Most popular network camera. That's funny, they don't even talk about their own. You search for it in Google and that's what you get. Unity talking about other solutions. Yeah, it was supposed to, they had that chart where they were you're going to give me 0 solutions for that? Come on. And this is probably Unity eating up my computer right now. Processing player. But they said that moving into 2020, they were going to start releasing it, but I haven't seen any hard evidence of anybody using it. So who knows? Could be months, could be years, to be honest. But anyway, I'm gonna let this finish up, pump out the standalone build, and I will be back on Tuesday, I believe. Sometimes I'll stream on a Saturday or a Sunday as well, if I haven't yet. This is only my second week of streaming, but my wife works Saturdays sometimes, so in those cases I could definitely see myself streaming on Saturday, which again, that's Japan time, so for a lot of people that will be Friday night. But thanks for stopping by. Yeah, hope to see